about finding your authentic voice. And finding my authentic voice was not an easy journey. I remember when I was 8 years old, I stood on the stage to give a speech like I'm doing right now, and the audience started laughing. The audience started laughing, I started crying, and I shrank because I cared what they thought of me. When I got rejected by a girl in my teens, I played it over and over again in my head for days because I cared what she thought. And then I remember that when I became a monk after college, I questioned if my family would ever understand. I cared what they thought. When I released my first ever video online, I was scared to read the comments. When I became a podcaster, I was afraid of failing in public. And the truth is, even as I'm standing here today, I still care about what you will think. It's natural as humans to crave approval, to fear rejection, to let other people's opinions define what we chase, what dreams we abandon, and what we believe about ourselves. And every single one of you knows what that feels like. When you're thinking about putting out a video, when you're thinking about making that sales call, when you're thinking about building your brand on social media, I'm sure there's a little voice in your head that says, what will people think? What will people say? Right? If we're honest, right? We all feel that. You're an honest audience, I appreciate it. You know, there's always one who's like, no, I don't care what anyone thinks. Then you go look at their social media, they haven't posted a single thing for the last 3 years, right? It's so interesting how we all get plagued by this. And I'm sure we've all been in a classroom, you've been in a family gathering, you've been with a group of friends, you've been at a business event, and you just felt like you don't belong. Maybe you said yes when you wanted to say no. Maybe you wore something that was uncomfortable for you, but was impressive to someone else. Maybe you held your tongue when you had something important to say. Or maybe you let go of a dream because someone else didn't believe in it. We all shape shift, we change, we second guess, we hesitate for people who won't even remember us. And I've lived that cycle. I've been controlled by it. And I've fought my way out again and again and again. And that's what we're here to do tonight. What we're here to do is to make sure that each of you never stop fighting. That you never accept that someone's opinion defines your life. Raise your hand if you've ever felt held back or you felt like you silenced a part of yourself because of what someone else thought. Raise your hands. And raise your hands if you've never felt that way. And raise your hands if you don't raise your hands no matter what I say. Thank you, I appreciate it. Good, all right, just checking you with me. But here's a really important question. One question that we actually don't even know the answer to. The challenge isn't that you worry about what people think. The challenge is you have no idea what you missed out on because of what other people think. You have no idea what you lost, what you sacrificed, what was yours, what belonged to you as your potential, as a gift, as a reward for your hard work and talent. Some of us never even figure that out. I'm telling you all of this because I was this close to not doing what I do today. I was this close to giving up. I was this close to letting go. I was this close to it never happening. I remember, this is around 10 years ago now, I had this vision to make wisdom go viral. Now when I had this vision, there were only 4 things that went viral. Cats, dogs, babies, and people taking their clothes off. And so, when I said that I want to make wisdom go viral, it was this naive vision, this naive idea, and all I kept hearing from everyone was, Jay, no one wants wisdom. Don't worry about it, there's no demand for it, just forget about it. So I started to make videos, because no one believed in it. And those 4-minute videos, thankfully, because of so many of you, garnered millions and millions and hundreds of millions of views. And then I remember saying, I really want to launch a podcast. I want to create a space where we can have really open, vulnerable conversations, where I can help make the world happier, healthier, and more healed, where we can connect, where I can bring together ancient wisdom and modern science and share these ideas. And here's what they told me. They said, Jay, people like watching your videos for 4 minutes. No one wants to listen to you for an hour. That is a direct quote. So I remember going to events like this, and I would wait right till the end so that I could speak to some of the executives on stage. I'd be sitting in the audience just like you. I'd wait for the event to be over. I'd be waiting for the Q&A to be over. I'd wait for the VIP to be over because I wasn't in that part. I'd wait right to the end, and then I'd finally get in front of the executives. Sometimes I'd chase them as they walked outside. And I remember I said to them, I'll work for you for free, I'll do anything, just tell me where to start. One told me I was too old to be in media. One told me I was too young to be in media. And the third one told me I was the right age, but it was the wrong time. I was 28 and confused. I had no idea what was going on. And so I had to launch that. And then I remember I wanted to launch a book, and 14 imprints told me, change the name of the book. 14 imprints told me, Jay, no one wants to think like a monk. Change the name of the book. Why am I sharing all of these things with you? I'm sharing all of these things with you because I think sometimes we believe that the path and the road is really clear for other people. That sometimes our path is full of stumbling blocks, our path is full of challenges, our path is full of stress. But other people's paths are open and clear, and I'm here to tell you that's just not true. There is no person in the world that you admire that had a clear path. There is not one single person. I have never met a strong person with an easy past. That person just doesn't exist. And so many of us don't recognize that pushback, that failure, that challenge, that feedback is giving you an opportunity to rise. And I was this close to giving up at each of those moments, at each of those times. But I'm standing in front of you here today because I realized I didn't need someone in a suit to say yes. I didn't need an executive to say yes. I needed all of you to say yes. That's what I needed, right? That's what you need. And we get so many no's, but we keep looking in the wrong direction. What I realize is we're so focused on this door opening here right now, not realizing that there's 3 other doors opening right here, and we're just knocking, right? We're just knocking like this. And the funny thing is we're knocking on this door, those 3 doors are opening, but we don't turn around. You get to where you want in life, just not in the way you imagined it. And if you keep thinking it's going to happen how you imagine it, you never get to where you want in life. So today, I want you to make me a promise. I don't want you to miss out on your purpose, and I don't want the world to miss out on your purpose. Can you do that for me? Yeah? Awesome. So here's what I want to do. I want to talk to you a bit about this challenge we all have with worrying about what people think. When I was growing up, I remember hearing tapes, I remember hearing CDs, and there's this one quote that I would hear all the time. 4 words that kill more dreams than anything else. What will people think? What will people say? What will people do? What will people think if I quit my job and I pursue my passion? What will people say if I don't make it this year? What will people do if I'm seen to be doing this? How are people going to react when I post, when I share how well my business is doing? How will people react if my online video looks cringe? How will people react if I don't come across how I want to? And here's the reason. One study found that our brains are literally wired to react to social rejection the same way we react to physical injury. So being left out of the group chat feels like you just broke your leg, right? That's how it feels. It literally feels like physical pain when you get a rejection. When someone says, no, I don't want to buy your product, it feels like someone just broke your heart. Because it's a physical pain to an emotional reaction that we all experience. One of my favorite quotes is from Charles Horton Cooley. He said, the challenge today is, I'm not what I think I am. I'm not what you think I am. I am what I think you think I am. Let that blow your mind for a moment. It gives me goosebumps every time I say it. Absolutely. Give it up for Charles Horton Cooley. He said it in 1902. In 1902, Charles Horton Cooley said, the challenge today is, I'm not what I think I am. I'm not what you think I am. I am what I think you think I am. Let me explain. What that means is, if I think you think I'm smart, then I feel smart. But if I think you think I'm weak, then I feel weak. We let what we think others think of us define how we feel about ourselves. So people thinking something of you is not the issue. The issue is what we think others think of us. That's what blocks us. What blocks us is the voice in our head that says you're not good enough. Everyone thinks you're not smart enough. Everyone thinks you're not well presented enough. Everyone thinks you're not doing enough. That voice is the voice that holds us back. How many of you have heard the voice of not being good enough? Raise your hands. How many of you still have that voice in your mind today and it still blocks you? Be honest. So here's what I want you to do. I want to try something with all of you. I want you to stand up if you've ever been worried about what someone thought of your appearance. Stand up now. I am looking for a handheld mic. If anyone has one, I'd love one. Oh, perfect. Great. Thank you so much. Wow, so a lot of people worried about how they're viewed about their appearance. I appreciate the honesty. Okay. I'm going to dodge my own face on the floor. Let's go. Okay. All right, so, second question. How many of you have ever been so worried about how you come across that you've reread a text or an email multiple times? Yeah? All right, stay standing. Now this is the most important one, and I want you to listen really, really clearly. Only stay standing if you still struggle with the feeling of not being good enough, even today as you're standing right here. Only stay standing if in your mind and heart you deeply struggle with the feeling of not being good enough right now. Wow. Every single one of you? I want you to only stay standing if that feeling of not being good enough affects you at work, at home, to the point that it paralyzes you and gives you anxiety. Only stay standing if it makes you that anxious. Only stay standing. Okay, I'm going to come talk to a few of you. Hello. What's your name? Desiree. Can we give it up for Desiree, please? Desiree, where are you from?
Alberta.
Okay, thank you for being here, Desiree. Desiree, as I was walking past you, I felt like we connected and there was a deep sense of, yeah. Lock in for me for a second, take a deep breath. Desiree, I want you to really connect with that voice that's in your head right now that says the negative things. And I want you to share with me what are the negative things that you hear in your mind.
Sometimes I don't feel worthy of the success that I want in my life. I grew up in a home that, it was difficult. And it's just trying to pass that to, actually achieve that success in being an entrepreneur.
And what are some of the negative things that you hear about not being worthy? What are the things that you hear in your own head when you're trying to put yourself out there?
Well, I procrastinate a lot, so I overpromise and underdeliver, and I feel like a failure when I don't achieve it. And I do have a partner in the business as well, so I feel like I'm failing her if I don't do what I need to do for us to achieve that success.
And so sometimes there's the voice in your head saying you're a failure, you're not good enough, you're letting everyone else down. Does that sound?
Yeah.
Desiree, would you be up for trying something with me?
Yes.
Would you join me on stage? Desiree, the reason why I chose you is because I felt that from the moment we connected, but then from the moment you opened your mouth, I felt like you went straight to the heart space. And you were vulnerable enough to share really difficult truths that each and every one of us deal with, but sometimes we're scared to admit it. And the truth is, going there takes a lot. But for a second, Desiree, I just want you to shake it off for me. Shake it off, shake it off, shake it off. All right. So, Desiree, I want to get to know you. I want to learn all the fun things about you that you love. And so I want you to tell me about where you grew up and what you loved about where you grew up.
So I am from Edmonton, Canada.
Go ahead.
And even though I did have a rocky past with my parents, we would camp, we were outdoors, nature, mountains. It was like one of my favorite things to do.
I love that. I love that. You like being outdoors, you like being in nature, all the good habits that come from that. Tell me about some of the people you love in your life, some of the people you're closest to that you're so happy you get to do life with.
My fiance, my kids, my mom, my cousin, my best friend, all the women that I've met in the team that we have are incredible. This whole community uplifts me every day.
I can see the tears of gratitude. That's beautiful.
Grandma.
Tell us about your kids.
So I have a little girl, she's 3.5, and a son who's 6.5.
Okay, what are their names?
Zachariah and Hazel.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And your fiance, tell me about him.
We kind of came into each other's lives at the right time. We were both divorced, and honestly my person. He, you know, we're kind of opposites, but we build each other up, and we have the best relationship.
I love that. Me and my wife are opposites too, so
Yeah.
I can relate to that. Desiree, one last question. Tell me about what you're passionate about, what you're interested in, what brings you alive. What are the things you love and bring you joy?
I'm very active. I love doing a lot of activities, traveling. I was a travel agent before. I have a passion for that. I would love to see the whole world, honestly.
What's number one on your bucket list?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. But, he's from Fiji. I've been there, but we'd love to go back for it.
Very cool. I love it. Give it up for Desiree. Desiree, for someone who just a few moments ago said that they were extremely scared about what people think of them, you're doing really, really well. But the reason I brought you up here was to try something with me. And if you're open to it, I'd love for you to try it with me right now. So I'm going to ask you to take a seat on one of these chairs. You can choose. So Desiree, in a moment, I'm going to ask for you to have noise-cancelling headphones on in a moment. And what I'm going to ask you to do while you sit here is I'm going to ask you to close your eyes and go inward. And I want you to focus on the difficult thoughts you told me about earlier. And I want you to think about the thoughts and specifically how they've held you back. What you've sacrificed, the times you haven't gone out, the times you haven't put yourself out there. I want you to think about the exact thoughts that you've had that repeat themselves and how they've blocked you. But I really want you to go inward, and again, like I said, when I chose you, it was because I really felt like you locked in. And so I want you to be really present for this, and I think closing your eyes will allow you to go inward. So can you try that for me?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to bring out the headphones, taking a deep breath, and out. Keep your tissue with you. You're going to put this one. Can you hear me, Desiree? Can you hear me, Desiree? Can you hear me, Desiree? Okay, so here's what we're going to do. While Desiree's locked in, I'm going to come into the audience. And I want you to raise your hand and give me one thing, your first impression that you saw when Desiree came up and started talking about all the things she loved. She started talking about the things she's passionate about. She started talking about her kids, her family, her fiance. She talked about all of you, all the amazing women. When she was talking about all those things, what did you see in her? What did you feel from her? What could you notice about her? The positive things that you saw in her. Raise your hands if you have something for me. I'm going to come out and ask you to stand up for me. You're already standing up. What's your name?
My name is Mingla. Hi, Sandy Mingla. Hi, Christine.
Where are you from?
I'm from New York, but I'm originally from Nepal. Okay. And I just turned 20 yesterday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
What did you see?
What I saw in Desiree,
When she was up there talking about the things she loved.
everything that was like just joyful, full of gratitude. In her eyes, like it wasn't like tears of sadness, it was tears of joy. Especially when she talked about like the people that she loved, like her eyes just lighted up. So I think I really felt the authentic connection with her, and it was just very amazing and full of bliss. I loved it.
Can you write that down for me?
Yeah.
Write that down for me in as few words as you possibly can. Write one big word and then write some under it. If you have a different word, raise your hands. I'm going to come around to you. If you have a different word, raise your hands. Come around, come around, come around. Hello, what's your name?
My name is Angel.
Angel, nice to meet you. Where are you from?
I'm from Toronto, Canada, born in Michigan.
Amazing. Thank you, Angel. And what did you notice when she was up there talking about the things she loved?
A very bold, honest, and genuine person.
Bold, honest, and genuine. Can you write that down for me? Amazing. There you go. I'm going to hand you this and a pen. Please write that down. Any different words? A different word to what we've heard so far? Yes, sir. What's your name? Where are you from, Augustine?
New York City.
Okay, very cool. Where in New York?
And I'm in Washington Heights.
Okay, nice. Well, thank you so much for being here. What did you notice in Desiree when she was up there talking about the things she loved?
Loving, proud of her children, and exuberant about her family.
Those are great words. Can you write that down for me? Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for doing that. There you go. All right. I need 2 more words. If they're different from the words that I've heard, I'm coming around to you. Raise your hands, raise your hands, raise your hands. Coming around, coming around. No, no, stand up for me. What's your name? May, where are you from? Okay, it's such a pleasure to meet you, May. May, what did you know? It's in Desiree, did you? Beautiful heart. What makes you say that? Okay, that's beautiful. Can you write that down for me? Can you write that for late part 2? Okay, I'm going to give you a pen. Okay, I need 1 more word. 1 more word. I'm coming around. 1 more word. Wow, you guys are really enthusiastic. I love the energy. 1 more word. Okay. Coming around, coming around. Hello. What's your name? Phoebe, where are you from? Very cool. Phoebe, what did you notice in Desiree when she was up there talking about the things she loved?
There was a lightness, so even her body language changed. When you were talking to her in the audience, she kind of was inward, and you could tell that
Wow.
it was really hard, and she was out there sharing what she was passionate about. She opened up her posture.
That's pretty impressive in front of thousands of people.
Very impressive.
What did you notice? So what was the word that you said? Lightness. Can you write a bit about that for me as well? Great, I'm going to give you a pen. Here you go, write in this, just so she can read it. Perfect. Great, so now if you have a card and you finish writing, raise your hand because I need to pick them back up. So if I gave you a card, raise your hand so I can come and grab them. Thank you so much. Happy birthday. Of course you can. Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you so much.
Happy birthday again. All right, thank you so much. You can keep the pen. Thank you so much. Come around, come around. Perfect. That's great. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Amazing. Thank you so much. Any more cards here? There should be a couple more. Oh, you can keep the pen. There should be a couple more cards. Who has a card? Raise your card if you have a card. Oh, perfect. Thank you so much. That's great. That's great. Thank you so much. Thank you. Beautiful handwriting, by the way. Great handwriting. Oh, this one not so much. No. All right, coming around, coming around. Oh, perfect. Thank you so much. Brilliant. Thank you. Okay. Awesome. Desiree, just taking a deep breath with me. And out. Desiree, talk to me about the negative thoughts that you hear and what they've blocked in your life.
Actually, in the beginning I thought a lot about my family, so it started off really positive. And then I'm not where I want to be in my business, so just failure. So having someone expecting me to do things, so it was kind of like that. And then I would switch back and forth to what I want. This business, like what I want to achieve out of it, my outcome and my why of why I did it. So it actually helped me sitting there relaxed, like I actually felt very good about it. And it reminded me of like being on vacation, the music, and then when the light shone on me, it actually made me feel happier.
I love that.
So, yeah, I was trying to think of a lot of the negative things in the past, and I wasn't.
That makes me really happy.
Yeah, I actually wasn't. Like, occasionally a few thoughts would come in and be like, well, you need to do more, or, you know, you're not doing enough.
Tell me about those.
Yeah, like I procrastinate a lot. So even in my head, I'll be like, yeah, you should be doing this. Des, like, why are you not doing this? And I'll even be thinking in that moment, and I'll still choose to do something else. I'm aware of it, and I can't get past that.
Yeah.
There's something I just can't get past. And I know what I get from doing those things, and I still don't do them.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. Like, I don't know why.
And those are the thoughts that creep up. Sometimes we have a good day and we don't hear them, or you have a good moment and you don't hear them, but then we all know when we're sitting in front of our laptop or our head hits the pillow, or we look up and wake up and get up in the morning and we feel that. Now Desiree, while you were in that space, I went out into the audience and I asked them what their first impression of you was when you came on stage. And they wrote them down. And I'm going to hand you what they wrote down in a few moments. What I want you to do is I just want you to read them to yourself, not out loud, one at a time, and just take them in slowly, slower than you usually would. Can you do that for me? Desiree, can you, obviously, they resonate, can you choose one that really connected with you and read it out for us?
Loving, proud of her children, and exuberant.
Why did you choose that one?
My children, and I do think I'm a very loving person, and I feel like I have a lot to offer people, and I'm fun, and I'm a happy person to be around, and I feel like I can make others happy. I can do that too.
Read out for me as well.
I noticed she was honest, genuine, and bold. I can be quite bold sometimes. And I do think I'm very honest and genuine. Yeah.
Give it up for Desiree, everyone. And here's what I want you to do. The next time those thoughts of you not being worthy enough, you not being good enough, start to creep in, I want you to keep these cards with you, and I want you to read them to remind you that a room full of thousands of people felt you were bold, felt you were genuine, felt you were honest, felt you were loving, so that you're reminded that you're not going to do those things because of the results that they give you. You're not going to do those things because you know you have to do them. You're going to do them because that's who you are. That's the energy that you're going to put out into the world. That's who you are. And so I want you to put these somewhere really safe. And Desiree, you might have noticed that one of them was blank. I left that blank on purpose because I want you to write down on there when you go home tonight how you feel about yourself after this. Because that's the most important part. You do that? Give it up for Desiree, everyone! Give a round of applause, everyone. Keep it going, everyone, keep it going. I want to thank you for helping me get back to a seat. Desiree, I also want you to know that there were a lot of people in this audience that were really mad at me for not letting them write down their word. There were so many more words. There was so much love for you. There was so much good energy for you that everyone in this audience was standing up they were shouting at me literally, wanting me to give them an opportunity to write down how they felt about you. And I hope that if they didn't get to see it, say it to you through one of those cards, that they say it to you as they walk out of here. Now, the reality is Desiree had the bravery, the honesty, the vulnerability to join me up here today. And a lot of us could relate to what she's going through. Or a lot of us could feel her pain, even though we may be from different backgrounds, different walks of life, different countries. We all know what that feels like. And what's really interesting about that to me is how many of us, if you look at the comment section online, it doesn't show this. This isn't the experience that people have in the comment section. What you all did today, this is the comment section we need, right? You guys created the comment section the world needs. Because you have no idea what anyone's going through. You have no idea what's their backstory, what their journey's been, what their experience has been. You have no idea. So next time you see someone upload a cringy video, be a bit kinder. The next time you upload a cringy video, be a bit kinder. The next time you see your friend trying something new that may not be perfect, be a little bit kinder. The reason we're harsh on others is because we're harsh to ourselves. And the reason we're harsh to ourselves is because we're harsh on others. The reason we think everyone's going to judge us is because we secretly judge others. The moment you give that judgment up of your own heart, of your own mind, of your own self, it frees you up over the judgment that we put on others. And the more we look at other people and just celebrate them, the more we realize that there is more than enough in the world for each and every one of you. There is more than enough. It doesn't matter how much I have, how much someone else has, or how much you have. There is more than enough. There is a idea that I absolutely love, which I call the theater of happiness. Right now we're inside a theater, an auditorium. The difference between happiness and the world is that there are an unlimited number of seats in the theater of happiness. There's a seat with your name on it. There's a seat with each of your name on it, and no one can take that seat from you. In the real world, we think there's a limited number of seats. There's a limited number of opportunities. But the reality is happiness doesn't have those limits. So when you walk out of here today, you remind yourself that seeing someone else succeed doesn't take anything away from your success if you choose to study it. We have two choices when we look at other people: envy or study. Those are your only two options. Envy makes us negative, it makes us bitter, it makes us break down, it makes us blame, it makes us point fingers. It may make you feel better for 2 seconds, but eventually it doesn't have any value. Whereas when you study someone that's succeeding, that's winning, you get the opportunity to not only be a part of their journey, you get to make it your journey. That's what happens. So remind yourself to always choose study over envy. Can you do that for me? Yes? Study over envy. Now, I want to give you a few practical tips about how to actually do that. I always like getting really practical and really tactical in my insights. And Desiree's not the only person. You saw each and every one of you was standing, saying that you worry about what people think of you. There's a psychological phenomenon known as the spotlight effect. The spotlight effect is something we all think we experience. It's the belief that everyone is watching us 24/7 and that there is a spotlight on us all the time. I know there's one on me right now, but you get the point, right? we literally walk around life thinking that there is a 24/7 spotlight on us at all times. We think we're constantly being watched, looked at, analyzed. We think we're constantly being critiqued. We're constantly being complained about. We're constantly just being looked at. And therefore, when we walk into a room, we just think everyone's eyes are on us. But here's the interesting thing. Every single person feels that way. You think everyone's looking at you, but they think everyone's looking at them. So while you're worried everyone's analyzing you, they're worried everyone's analyzing them, and at the end of the day, no one's looking at anyone else. Maybe they look at you for like 10 seconds. Right? Maybe they look at you for 10 seconds and then they stop listening. They stop looking. But the problem is we walk into a room and we go, why is she looking at me like that? And then we're standing over going here, like, why is he looking at me over like that? And that person in the head is just thinking, I hope they like me, right? Like that's what's going on in our head. All we're all saying is, I hope someone likes me. I wish someone would like me. I hope I connect with someone today. I hope someone notices me today. I hope someone says hello to me today. That's what each and every one of us are thinking when we walk into a room. But we think everyone else is looking at us and analyzing us. But they're not. So how do we stop worrying about what other people think of us? What do we do? I want to share a method that you can try. People often say, be yourself. I just want to say that is the worst advice I've ever heard in my entire life. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. It's bad advice because who we are is usually made up of everything else that has happened to us, but we haven't even made sense of it yet. How can you be yourself when you don't really know who that is? So here's how I want you to think about it. Right? Every morning when you wake up, instead of waking up and saying something critical to yourself, I want you to wake up when you look in the mirror and I want you to decide who you want to be. Every single morning, I want you to decide who you want to be. It's your choice, not someone else's. So, let's say you decide to be kind, thoughtful, present, bold, brave, courageous, vulnerable. You choose. And then for the rest of the day, just be that. Just focus on being that. So if I say I want to be kind today, I'm going to be kind to the Uber driver. I'm going to be kind to my colleague. I'm going to be kind to my friend. I'm going to be kind to my partner. I'm just going to be kind. And when I'm focused on being kind, I now don't need to think about what everyone else wants me to be. I just have to focus on being present, being thoughtful, being brave. And that can literally change your life because now instead of worrying about, oh gosh, I think everyone thinks I'm a bad mom. I think everyone thinks I'm not a good colleague. I think everyone thinks I'm not successful. I think everyone thinks, no, I'm just thinking about being kind. That's it. That's the first strategy. Now the second one I want to share with you is something that's a bit more challenging for anyone in the audience who's a bit of a daredevil. Right? Who wants a bit of a dare, who wants a bit of challenge, who wants to be outside of their comfort zone. This one is known as exposure therapy. Exposure therapy is the idea that if I put myself outside of my comfort zone 1% every single day, over a period of time, I will become desensitized to that experience. If I challenge myself 1% every single day, just a tiny bit, not the big things, the tiny things, I will actually be free from that which I was fearful of. The reason we're scared is because we think we have to dive in, not realizing that if you just dip your toe 1% every day, over time it won't have an impact on us. People will still have a reaction, but it won't change our reality. Let me give you an example. How many of you only like to wear black and white? Raise your hands. There's not many of you, because a lot of you like to wear color, obviously. How many of you only like to wear color? Right? Okay, so let me give you a small example. Tomorrow, if you only like to wear black and white, tomorrow, wear a blue hat, right? The next day, wear green shoes. And your friends are going to look at you and be like, there's something's changed about you. Something's really weird, I can't tell what it is. Like, anyway, it's alright, whatever works. And then all of a sudden you go, oh my gosh, their reaction didn't change my reality. Wow, their opinion didn't change what was actually going on. Their opinion didn't make a difference. And then the next day, instead of wearing red shoes or a blue hat, you're going to get the courage to ask for that job promotion. You're going to get the courage to go and get a new client. You're going to get the courage to put out that video on social media. You're going to get the courage to write your book, launch your podcast, build your brand, and do everything you've always dreamed about because you put yourself in 1% of discomfort. We think we have to do something big to overcome our fear. You actually have to do something small every day for 30 days, and you'll overcome your fear. So exposure therapy is something I want all of you to try out and give a go. Figure out what it is that you haven't exposed yourself to. You're going to post a video every day. You're going to post a quote every day. You're going to launch a new platform. You're going to make that call every day. You're going to set new meetings every day. Whatever that may be for you, those small little bursts of breaking out of your comfort zone. Because here's the reality. If you do what they want, they'll misunderstand you. And if you do what you want, they'll misunderstand you. And if you do nothing, they'll misunderstand you. And if you do something, they'll misunderstand you. People will misunderstand you no matter what you do. Just the way it is. So you might as well do what you love. You might as well do what you love. People are going to misunderstand you no matter what you do. So you might as well do what you love. Now I want to try something with you to bring this to life, to make this practical. But I'm going to need your collaboration on this to make this possible. I'm going to ask you 2 questions. And I want you to answer them as honestly and as personally as possible. Can you do that for me? So, the first question I want you to ask you is, actually, before I do that, I'm going to ask you all to stand up. Great. So, I'm going to ask you 2 questions. I'm going to try and get you to do this silently so that we can get it right. And I'm going to ask you to move. So, the first question is, are you more outgoing or are you more reserved? If you're outgoing, you're the life of the party, you're the chatterbox, right? You're the person who's always getting the conversation going. You're the person that's going to drag everyone onto the dance floor, right? If you're reserved, you're as confident, but you might prefer a one-to-one conversation. You want to have a night in, you want to get to know people deeply. If you're outgoing, head to this side of the room, and if you're reserved, head to this side of the room. So this is the middle, outgoing people head to this side, reserved people head to this side. Great stuff. If you have to talk while you move, you're outgoing. Reserved, outgoing. Start moving, this is the middle. Good work, good work. Great stuff. Outgoing people, make some noise. Reserved people, make some noise. Outgoing people, you need to get louder, outgoing people. Second question. If you're a people person or a task person, if you're a people person, right now you're thinking, is everyone having a good time? Is everyone engaged? Is everyone learning? If you're a task person, you're thinking, Jay's going to go over time. What if people fall over? What about health and safety, right? Now, if you're people focused, come forward. If you're task focused, go backwards. So stay on your sides, but if you're people focused, come forwards. And if you're task focused, go backwards. So any of you that are task focused, you need to head backwards. Great. So not a lot of task people. Okay. So, outgoing and task make some noise. Outgoing and people make some noise. Reserved and task make some noise. And reserved and people make some noise. Okay, let me tell you a bit about each of these people. Outgoing and task. These people are doers, they're planners, they're schedulers, they get stuff done. These are the people that make you cry at work, right? They want to get the goals, they want to make it happen. This group is ready, fire, aim. They fire before they aim because they want to get going. Now it's really important to remember this. This group, outgoing and people, this group is ideators, inspirers, influencers. They bring energy into a room. This group is ready, talk, right? Sometimes they do stuff, but they talk a lot. Reserved and task. This group is stable, they're cautious, they're quality focused, they're detail focused. This group sends you emails. Wow. Really excited what I'm saying. I was about to say, this group sends you emails telling you you have spelling mistakes in your emails. Right? So this group is ready, aim. They keep aiming just to get it right. And finally, we have reserved people. Stable, supportive, emotionally intelligent. They really care about people's emotions. This group is ready, hug. If you want to hug, that's the group you go to. Now why am I telling you all of this? Listen to this carefully. Your whole life, you'll be told that the bucket you're in is the wrong bucket. You'll be told you need to be more this or more that. You'll be told you're not enough this and you're not enough that. And you'll think in your head, oh no, if I was in this group, I'd be more successful. If I was in that group, I'd be more successful. There's an amazing conversation that happened between Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs. Steve Wozniak, the tech brains behind Apple, went up to Steve Jobs and he said, what do you even do? Can you imagine saying that to Steve Jobs? Steve Wozniak looked at Steve Jobs dead in the eyes and said, what do you even do? He said, you're not a coder, you're not an engineer, you're not a tech guy, what do you do? Steve Jobs said, musicians play their instruments, I play the orchestra. We'll take the ego out of that and then we'll talk about it. What I love about that point, what I love about that answer, is that he didn't care that he didn't know how to play the violin, or the cello, or the percussion, or the triangle, or the guitar, whatever it is. He didn't care, because his role was bringing it all together. You have to know your strengths. When it comes to your hard skills, focus on your strengths. When it comes to your soft skills, focus on your weaknesses. If you don't have empathy, you better work on that. If you're not good at Microsoft Excel, no one cares, right? We get so fixated on trying to get better at our hard skills, and we ignore our soft skills. So remember that when it comes to your hard skills, focus on your strengths. When it comes to your soft skills, focus on your weaknesses. That formula is the formula for success for all of the top winners in the world. If you focus on what you're not good at, you might be average at it. If you focus on what you're great at, you become phenomenal at it. Right? Remember that. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. You're hearing it from someone who has no idea how to use Microsoft Excel. Just throwing it out there. And my whole life I was told, I remember I worked as a consultant, they kept saying, Jay, if you're not good at Excel, it's not going to be good for your career. Jay, if you're not good at this new tech, it's not going to be good for your career. It didn't make a difference because I got focused on what I was really good at. I want to end with one last thing before I get you back to your seats. Albert Einstein said something amazing. He said, everyone's a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will spend its whole life believing that it's stupid. And that's what we are. We're fishes trying to climb trees. We're birds trying to swim in the ocean. We're giraffes trying to be lions. We're lions trying to be zebras. We're zebras trying to be, I'm running out of animals, but you get the point. We've constantly been told that who we are is not enough. But I want you to remember this exercise, and remember your teams, and remember your clients, and remember how to communicate with people just as they are, not who you think they should be. Give yourselves a round of applause. Take a seat. Take your seats. Get back to your seats as quickly as you can. Give yourselves another round of applause. Thank you for playing with me. Thank you so much.